What is going on, all you beautiful people? Thanks for joining me for another video. Blade Show Texas was a couple days ago, and it was the most fun experience I've had in a long time. I got to meet up with a lot of my close friends that I've met through Instagram 3 years ago. I got to meet up with them face to face. People like Brandon, Everyday Minimalist, Old Man Bob Poncho, Chris Rossiter over at Renegade EDC, Erling, who else? Ron Kwok over on Live With Purpose EDC on Instagram and on YouTube. He's a brand new friend. Balin, there's so many names I could mention, and it was so awesome hanging out and meeting everybody. I ended up doing a couple live streams with Brandon and Ron. They ended up popping my live stream cherry, which was a running joke. And it was overall just a really great time meeting everybody and just being able to handle so many cool knives and check out so much different gear. Now, if you're interested in just the knife haul section of this video, I'm going to put a timestamp right here. You guys can go to this timestamp to go just to the knife haul part of this video. But beforehand, I want to talk about something cool that happened at my first Blade Show. Hashtag Blade Show Babies was what Ron and I called ourselves on Instagram. But at this Blade Show, I got to hang out with Ben Peterson of Knafs, and I got to have dinner with him. And in that dinner, Brandon had brought his camera, and him and I made a short film that I think should be nominated for Best Short Film at a Blade Show. That's the new category. So you guys are going to check out that Blade Show film right here with me and Ben Peterson. Let's check that out first.
Okay guys, we just stole Brandon's camera, and we're like, can we borrow that for a minute? He has no idea what we're about to do. So we're just gonna throw this footage on his camera, and then he gets to be a movie maker. Editor, director, whatever. We're just gonna make a movie for him. Let's go. Dang, where is he? Dude, where you been? What you got? What you got? Oh. All of them? How many? 20. I'll take this. Oh yeah.
So that was a whole lot of fun. That was all impromptu. Like, there was no script, no nothing. Ben was just sitting next to me and was like, hey, you want to record something? And we just got really weird with Brandon's camera, and he ended up editing it, all of it. So thanks so much, Brandon, for editing that piece of content. And then number two, I was walking around Blade Show. I wasn't recording much because I'm an awful YouTuber, apparently. But I was walking around Blade Show, and Ben was over at the Knafs booth, and he kind of gave me a job. So I guess I'm technically a Knafs employee now. Maybe I need like a t-shirt with a little Knaf logo on it, but I'm gonna roll some of that now. So it's not always the case that you get to come to your first Blade Show and then work.
I hired him.
Yeah, I'm like an official, an honorary Knaf employee.
An honorary Knafs employee.
Oh, what a legend. Dude, I had a blast, man. Thank you so much. That was a cool experience. I'm glad I could help you out, man.
Appreciate you.
So, yeah, good experience overall, dude. So all in all, I had a blast. I can't believe I became a Knafs employee. And with everything being said, I've decided that I am for sure going to go to Blade Show Atlanta, because this was just such a fun moment to experience. But besides the fun moments, let's talk about gear. I ended up spending more than I imagined as things go in Blade Show. Lexi's behind the camera helping me out. She's giving me a death stare right now. So let's go over the haul. So the first purchase I made when I got into Blade Show, I didn't have an early bird ticket, by the way. I just stood in line and waited for it to open, was a notorious EDC Kingpin. Now, I remember when he dropped this design on Instagram, I was all over it. I'm not a slip joint guy by any means, but this thing is just so sweet. Brandon had one for me to handle before I even bought mine. And what really sells me on this slip joint is, number one, the overall beauty, simplicity of this design, the blade on this, and this little closing sound that I don't know if I can capture it on audio. Yeah, that's real nice. There's going to be a full video on this guy aside from this YouTube video where I go into more detail on it. But I was very stoked, and it was super cool to meet Tom. He's just as cool in person as he is over Instagram, so this was kind of a no-brainer. It supports him as a designer, and I go home with a really cool slip joint. Let's move on to the next knife. The second two knives that I got are from ProTech, and I really was not expecting to stop by their booth and pick anything up, but there was two things that really caught my eye, and that first one was the PT Plus. Now the PT is Strider's smaller model, much smaller than the SNG and way smaller than the SMF. But this one I picked up because the guy at the booth, Matt, was telling me that it had a lot of firsts, like the textured scales, the abalone inlay, and this guy comes in magna cut steel. Just like any other ProTech, you got a sweet kick to it. And for this size, this knife is just extremely comfortable in the hand. Like I've said before, I am on a Strider kick, and this was actually kind of on the way out when I made this purchase, but I'm super stoked with it. It is number 36 out of 100, and again, I'll be making a separate video kind of breaking this down a little bit more that you guys can check out later. So first stop at ProTech, the PT Plus, the Strider ProTech collab. The third knife I picked up is kind of special because this particular model I bought years ago when I first jumped into the EDC community, and it was the most expensive knife that I had ever purchased, and that is the ProTech Mordax. This one is the Blade Show Texas exclusive. You have a honeycomb pattern milling right on the front there, and I definitely missed having this knife in the collection. This one is just as smooth as the one that I've had. In my opinion, the Mordax is right up there with the Malibu as far as how smooth they are. Everything in this knife is just perfect. It is a really big knife for many people, but extremely ergonomic, and I'm just really stoked to have one in the collection. This will also be getting its own video soon. The last knife pickup was one that I was not expecting to make, but I just couldn't hold back. I had to have it because I've been seeing it all over Instagram and people have been raving about it, and that is the Gavco and We collaboration, the Hyphen. Now this is really cool because Gavco makes these really unique designs. All the lines on this are crazy. The designs are based off of sea creatures, sea animals, and the Hyphen was just a really cool looking knife in my opinion. Extremely ergonomic, blue anodized titanium on it, CPM 20 CV steel, and it's just a sweet blade. I mean, look at all this, kind of like Harpoon, Warncliffe style blade. The handle is much smaller than the blade is, which a lot of people feel really weird about that, but I think it just kind of adds to the ergonomics of the knife. A little bit on the smaller side, but you got a really nice choil up here to kind of dig into. Just as comfortable, just as cool. The only thing I would have changed was maybe going for that tiger striped ano, but unfortunately they were all out. So the blue ano is the one that I picked up. Super stoked. Of course, this will get its own individual video, but overall really happy with this purchase. So sadly, a couple of months ago, I lost my Big Eye Design pen, my little titanium pen. So after that happened, I've been on the lookout for a new titanium pen, and luckily for me, and thanks to Brandon for being such a bad influence, I picked up a tactile turn mini side click in all titanium. This thing is super fun and fidgety. You can deploy it from the top, and then you have that little side button here, which is probably going to be really hard to focus on. That little button there, and you just click it and it goes back in. I'm really happy that I was able to buy this from the Tactile Turn guys. All very cool people, and I'm really stoked, and I really like this pen, and I may just buy another one in like brass and maybe zirconium, and maybe I'll just become a pen collector. I'm not sure if I should do a full video on something like this. You guys can actually let me know down in the comments if you would enjoy that kind of content, but I'm really happy with this pen. The next thing is not necessarily a purchase, but a gift from my buddy Brad, Screaming Pirate EDC, and it's this really cool Camera M slider. So this thing is a fidget. There's like little magnets on there, and you can just push it and pull it and do a whole bunch of stuff. There's a little button on the top here that you can click on. The lens turns, and it's just really fun and fidgety and extremely annoying. I already annoyed Lexi. I was in the elevator using it, and people were just like wanting to punch me in the face. But overall, it's super cool. It's super hefty. I've never been a fidget guy. I had a fidget spinner like years ago, but these things are extremely cool, and I'm super grateful. Thanks so much, Brad. What a thoughtful and really fun gift. and hopefully this is not going to send me down the rabbit hole of fidget toys, because I don't think Lexi could handle it mentally if I got addicted to them. And then the last thing is a bunch of swag. You know, thanks to Brandon and Data Crew, I got a whole bunch of REs. I'm not sure if these are released yet. I should have maybe asked him. I want to say they are, because he was giving them away. So if they are, cool. If they're not, Brandon, I'm so sorry. I just ruined that. Then my boy Ron hooked it up with a Live with Purpose RE as well. And then the guys at ProTech, Derek, the dude who runs the social media, I've been chatting with him for years, and I finally met him a couple days ago too. He hooked me up with a whole bunch of swag. There's like a couple of REs in there, a sticker, there's a challenge coin in there somewhere too, a keychain. I mean, it was just way too much, man. Thank you so much to ProTech and Derek for hooking me up with this. And last but not least, I'm glad I got one of these, because it's going to be a reminder of me being a part-time Knafs employee. Maybe I should put this on my shirt, but we got the kitty from Knafs Co., the Space Kitty patch. And this will live on whatever pouch I want to put it on. That was kind of cool. But that is it, guys. That is the full Blade Show Texas haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's any feedback on these videos, leave it down below. Let me know what you got at Blade Show Texas if you attended. And I hope to see you guys at Blade Show Atlanta hopefully soon, so we can all spend money together and then cry about it, but then be super happy at the same time. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Quite a long time. My cat has decided to join me. Yeah, my cat missed me. I knew he was going to do that.